Let's see whether we are live or not. And we have three people. And I have done Pepas is over here. Let me see. Papusa, Pupusa, say hello to everyone. You say hello, hello. He said, I was so excited about having the stream. And finally, I got so tired of being excited and decided to go my nap. So here I am sitting on my favorite corner on the couch, trying to hang in as tightly as possible and not to fall. But he's sleeping very, very deep sleep. And hello everyone, I hope you can all see me and hear me, and I welcome you all to our stream. Let me move from the corner where Don Pepas is to my normal station where I am doing the streams. And let's go. And it's happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday afternoon. And let's see who I have here. I have three people. I have one like already. That's so nice. And let me get onto my live channel. And it says that yes, my channel is live now, and I am going to see all your comments and live feed where you are. Hello, hello, hello. Well, happy Sunday again. It turns out that here in California, this weekend scheduled to be so nice and so beautiful. It's warm, it's nice. Yesterday it was about 68, almost 70 in few places. Today is also 68, and it's very, very nice. And I have here December Jam. Hello, Gail. Hello, hello. I have HS. Привет, здравствуйте, hello, and Pepas is welcoming you all. I have Mr. Patchworth, hello there. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, I really appreciate you being here at the stream Sunday afternoon. I know that you all have things to do and places to go, and in the morning you all were with Messi, and now in the afternoon you are here with us, with Don Pepas and myself, and we are so happy to have you at our place. And I hope that you can all hear me well and see, and we are going to hang out here for quite some time to talk about Messi, to talk about Sasha and Masha and Don Pepas and all other wonderful things that we want to talk about. I printed out a few questions that you posted on our community board. I will be answering those questions. I also have Russia, the map of Russia over here. I will be showing you a few places over here because again, there were Sasha and Masha, they keep receiving questions about Luna the Panther, and they kind of trying to answer to the best of their abilities and desire. So I'm going to show you where where Messi lives and where Luna lives and how it's relative. When Masha was answering the question today, like how to see each other. I mean, are they eventually going to see each other? And Masha said, our country is so big, and Luna lives in one place and we live in different place. Well, since I am addressing this right now, so yeah, we know that there is another beautiful cat admired on the internet, and Luna the Panther, and she lives in Siberia. Her owners are not that open about their location, so I'm going just to show you the general area where they live. And if we go here to the map, so and we know that Sasha and Masha, they live here, Penza, and Luna lives over here. So if you're going to see, this is the distance, and it's about 2,500 miles. The distance 2,500 miles. So definitely it's not an easy easy distance to cover for either of the animals. And Sasha was saying that how do you propose us to acquaint those animals together? They're two different species, Messi and Luna, and besides, well, it's not going to happen because it's not that easy. That was one question that was asked today at the stream with Sasha and Masha. But we all love the animals and we're really happy. We want them all to love each other as well. But as we can see, through the course of Messi getting acquainted with Gerda, even Masha, she posted yesterday a video on the Telegram saying they kind of drawn together, but they cannot be together because they keep fighting, and it's really very. We would love to see them playing together peacefully, maybe snugging together, but probably it's not going to happen. They are different species, different cats, and they are mature adults already. I mean, if they were growing up together, if they were together from the kittenhood, that maybe we could have seen that. But now Messi is 8, Gerda is 10, 11, 12ish, something like that, and that's how it is. So, I would like to again welcome who else is joining us. We know, oh my god, we have 13 people. Welcome! I can't believe it. We are 13 people watching. Kelly Ramsey, hello. Monica Mendes, hola, como está? Okay, December. Jim Dale McNamee, hello here. Janie G. Linda making new dreams come true. And we have, uh, okay, HS. We have Mr. Patchworth. Thank you so much for joining the party. I don't see Valeria Val Wagner. She was supposed to join us, but maybe you are watching Valerie. You just don't know how to participate in our chat. Just try to type something in the chat on your computer, on the left side, right side of your computer, and we'll see that you're here. But in any case, if you're watching, hello to you. Little house cleaning announcements, housekeeping announcement of this channel. So first of all, again, we grew for the past 2 weeks. About 250 people came to the channel. I welcome all new subscribers. Thank you so much. The channel finally is getting some activity, and we are on par with the requirement of the YouTube to be kept monetized, because finally I'm getting required watch hours. It's not much, but it's barely on the threshold that people are watching the content that we have on the channel. Yes, and I'm being a bad girl. I'm not creating much of a new content. But again, if you're here and you just learned about this channel and you're interested in the Russian language, in all things Messi, Sasha, Masha, and Gerda, welcome to this channel. We have plenty of materials to go through for you. You can start with shorts. I have the entire Russian alphabet in shorts, and Messi is teaching you every letter. Then we have the rubric word of the day, and if you're saying that Cyrillic is very difficult for you, and it is, it's not that difficult. It's the brain, the wired differently, saying that, oh, it's a different letter and I refuse to comprehend that letter. But once you get the algorithm or the logistics behind the different alphabet, it's going to be really easy. And for that, we also have plenty of videos. I have the alphabet. I have 2 long videos, 2 half-an-hour video. One, the introduction of the alphabet and the new letters, and then the second one is the continuation of the letters. And then I broke that video in smaller pieces, and if you would like to watch in smaller installments that alphabet, you're more than welcome. Also, if you go to the playlists, how the, okay, definitely when you're on your phone, there is a different organization of the YouTube channel, and but still you can see all the playlists, all the shorts, all live streams, and you're able to see that the shorts are, I mean, live playlists, they organize like kind of in grammatical ways. So we are touching the subject of all the nouns, how they function in the Russian language, a little bit of the verbs, a little bit of the tenses, so the basics of the language, and then majority of the videos, they are like, oh, Messi's word of the day, Sasha and Masha saying something interesting, they're talking to Messi, Messi reacts, and I am introducing that word. And for many, many days, this channel is already 2 years old, even a little bit older, almost 2.5 years old. We're getting there, and we have plenty of material accumulated on this channel, and that's why you can find word of the day, the little short files, short lessons, and you will be learning how to pronounce words, and you will be listening together when Sasha and Masha saying something and I'm recording that piece of video and then playing it back to you, trying to teach you how to listen to the speech and everything. So that's about the language as much as possible. And then we also have some cultural aspects of the language and Russian culture, because every language, when we are learning languages, they are different, and they, people speak languages, people make languages. So, and people, when they communicate, it goes beyond communication, it goes to culture, and people write music, write novels, poetry, do their dishes, cook something, cuisine, and all that calls culture. And each person in the world, every people in the world, they have their own culture, cuisine, songs, poems, movies, etc. And we have a little bit of that also in this on this channel, and you can see that we have a few books reviews, we have few words from the Russian cartoons and stuff like that. So plenty of materials. Feel free to take your time and browse throughout the content, and also if you write a comment, I will come and answer your comment and answer your questions, whatever you may have. And we, besides, if you're here on the channel and you see that we are so happy to see all the newcomers, and we are so happy to be here, and because those people who were this morning on Messi's channel, they come here, and that's how we are. We are the tightly knit family who love animals. And Messi was the one who brought us together eventually. And there is a video on this channel saying that Messi's job, for first and foremost, as the goodwill ambassador. Messi is a goodwill ambassador, and we all know that, because he really, what he does, he unites people all over the world. And what happened on this channel also, once it was Messi's stream, and there was another person from where I live, from Monterey, California, and he was in the chat, and we ended up meeting in real life. He lived here, Carlos, and I live here, and we ended up meeting the same day after Messi's stream, and we hosted I hosted the live stream in Monterey with Carlos, and the name of the stream is that Puma Messi brings people together in real life as well. So yes, we love animals, and I welcome you all, animals lovers, and of course those who love Messi, Gerda, and that wonderful family of Dmitrievs who live in Penza, Russia. So that's the beginning. Welcome of all the new people. I also received few donations this week, and for that I'm so grateful. Karen Reed, I wanted to say thank you so much for your very generous donation, and that was in response of Don Pepas ordeal at the veterinary clinic, and that's my expensive bill. And thank you so much, Karen. Really, really appreciate. And then Chris Allen, he sent me PayPal donation. Also, thank you so much. And throughout the life of the channel, you send me some donations. Now since the channel is monetized, it's easier than ever to do that, because under every video you have thanks button. You can push on that one and you will will be able to support the channel monetary. And for that I would like to say thank you to Penny, to December Jam, to Jay, my voice. Jay actually also keeps me hostage, saying that I'm going to give you more once you do the video about you growing up in the Soviet Union. And I keep promising him that one of these days I'm going to do that video. So Sherry also sent some donation, and I have Damon DeWolf and Clayton Thompson. And so yes, thank you so much. And those who I didn't mention, you just send via PayPal, and it took me some time to figure out how to say thank you on PayPal. And then you also buy me coffee. There is a link in my video description. You can buy me a coffee, PayPal. And before I forget that, if you, I know that you all shop on Amazon, and that link that I gave you, the affiliate link, if you go to Amazon through my link, I'm still going to get some money. So whenever you go to Amazon, shop on Amazon, because we all shop on Amazon, please remember to enter that site through my link. And that's what I was going to say. And again, thank you so much for caring about this channel, caring about myself and Don Pepas, who is sleeping and has not a worry in the world, because again, I don't know, they never fixed his night sleeping pattern. And today I barely slept last night, because he just decided to have fun, and he was walking literally on my head and on my hair. And when he is stepping on my head and then on my hair, it pulls and it's painful, and there is no way to ignore him. And you wake up and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm awake now. So anyway, what do I have here in our chat? Jay is here, people watching. Yes, thank you so much. And Jay, okay, Jordi Henner, здравствуйте, добрый день. And Jordi, I see you on Facebook. Whenever I also share a link, you like there. So we are growing cross-platform, though I don't advertise on Facebook my activity, because that's my kind of personal account there that I am not very active. But whenever I publish shorts, I make sure that my ex, former Twitter account, and Facebook, they share the link on that one. And your support is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, what do we have? Linda is saying, I practice reading Russian names during the live streams. Yes, that's very good practice also. Yes. And learning, continue to read. Yes, that's and especially because during the stream the chat runs very fast, and you can train your eyes to catch the glimpses of those names at the speed that is actually jumping at you. You're training yourself to be not so dependent on your way of perceiving the language, but becoming more passive. And it's like, when we speak, we are kind of in control, because we use only words that we know, and we are saying what we want to say. When we read, we kind of half free, because at least we have the text in front of your eyes, and you can slow down and read it as slow as possible until you get everything. But when you are listening, you have no control whatsoever, because the words are just jumping at you and the speed is different, and you're at the mercy of your understanding. And that's why in the chat, when you have these flying names and flying lines, yes, it's also challenging to read. So it's a good exercise, Linda. Keep reading. I know that you're an accomplished linguist also. You speak a few languages, and you took some Russian as well, and that's why it's good practice for you too. Okay, so what else? Oh, I was listening to myself after the stream is over. I'm just continuing playing whatever I was saying, and it dawned on me. I heard it, and I always say okay, not okay. And now as I'm saying okay, well, maybe I should just stop saying that at all. Well, let's see what I have here in the chat. Yeah, it's so wonderful that I'm having more views, and it's thanks to you guys, because you were here from the very beginning and you are witnessing the growth of the channel and success of the channel. And yeah, Jay is saying I have trouble with Cyrillical letters. Any tricks to learn them? Jay, I'm telling you that I have all 33 letters to begin with, 33 and 33, and yeah, it's kind of scary. And there are two signs, soft and hard sign. And go to the shorts, go to my alphabet, the entire alphabet in shorts, and just train your eyes and listen, because it's so easy. 1 minute, one letter, and few words during that minute, and you will see. And besides, you see, Cyrillic is not that completely different. It's not left to right. I mean, it's left to right, but it's not right to left. And it's not like Arabic, or it's not like Hebrew. It's not like those languages. So it does have similar characters to the Latin alphabet, but yes, there are significant differences. But in my classroom, our students normally they learn that alphabet in 2 weeks, and then they keep reading as if they always been reading that language. However, you see, when I first introduced the alphabet on this channel, and I was like, okay, I just taught you alphabet and you're supposed to be able to read. And I stopped writing transcription, the Latin transcription, the Russian letters with the Latin letters, Russian words with the Latin letters. And some people will say, oh no, please don't do that, don't abandon that practice and keep writing those Russian words with Latin letters, because it's impossible to be able to read it. But maybe I again need to do some reading lesson, just to see how to read those letters, and how to do that. But again, it's as long as whatever you decide, if you are determined to learn that alphabet, nothing can stop you. If you're saying, oh, it's difficult and I will be, so nothing depends on me, either I speak this language or either I understand that language, that also is nothing's going to happen. But if you say, hey, that's what it's my own, I gave myself a word that I'm going to learn that alphabet, let it be for the purpose of training my memory, or I don't know, just to impress someone, to impress myself that I can do it, and then definitely you will learn that alphabet. But when it's not essential, and as I said, that this channel wasn't created with the point of like making you learn and learn hard. I'm going to give you quizzes every time, I'm going to give you tests every time that I introduce the word or the letter or whatever. No, we are here again to have fun, to have some exposure to different culture, and to understand what Sasha and Masha referring to, and have me to explain this to you. So that's the main purpose of this channel. And also, the story for these streams, the streams in the afternoon after having Messi streams in the morning, to answer your questions. If you have something more about those streams, that stream, what was said about during that stream, I have somebody else joining us. Kelly, Kelly, I don't remember whether I said hello or not to you. One word at a time, absolutely. Yes, and Linda is saying here we have the word quote. Quote, it's cat. The quote. And try your favorite SSSR. Okay, yes. But you see, Linda, is so interesting. I used to work in one company, and the guy was saying, he was a hockey fan, and he said, I kept watching that Soviet team playing the Canadians and the American professional hockey players, and whenever they were getting out on ice in those red jerseys, and they had the CCCP on their chest, and I'm like, no, it's SSSR, not CCCP. But it's CCCP. No, it's SSSR. So anyway, yeah, you see, you can treat it. I mean, you can read it any way you want. Okay. Oh, okay. That's my word. That's what I'm saying all the time. Uh, what was so important about streams today? In a way, nothing was very important. It was a slow news days. Nothing was so important or whatever. Sasha and Masha, they're waiting for the spring to come in because it's still that much snow. But Masha was saying next stream is going to be already spring, because it's going to be March 1st or March 2nd. Whatever is going to be March 3rd. So it's going to be March and it's spring. They still have plenty of snow to melt. Sasha recovered from his cold, but Masha picked up the June, and now she is kind of cold, and she had running nose and headache, stuffy nose, and she was kind of excusing herself, saying that you have to tolerate my voice because I'm speaking with my stuffy nose. And but what they keep referring to, that definitely they've noticed that Messi is behaving much better, and apparently that tooth was definitely bothering him. Now, since the wound healed, and he is very playful, and every time when Sasha passes by him, he's trying to reach him, he's trying to touch Sasha, he's inviting him to play. So apparently, that the buzzer that he had in his mouth was removed, and he is very happy about that and very thankful and very playful, and Sasha is very happy about that as well. And they kept talking about the tiger house, their friends who have the big cats hospice place in St. Petersburg, and what's happening this week in that place with Yana and Dima. They received a new patient, and that new patient is a very special patient. It's a wild tiger from Amur region, and if you go again to our map over here, and so this is Russian forest, and we see this is China, and Russia is hugging this piece over here, and the climate is very good here for the tigers and other big cats to live. So they have Amur. This is Amur River that is going on the border of China and Russia, and this is the habitat for the Amur or Russian forest tigers. And of course, unfortunately, there is such a thing as poachers, and they are everywhere. They are just people who kill animals for money, and we know, probably everyone knows, that the tiger, it's a very expensive animal. To begin with, the skin is very expensive, and then all the internal organs, they are highly regarded in Chinese medicine, and the teeth of those animals also very valuable, and people do hunt them, and it's prohibited. It's a violation, it's a crime, but nevertheless that's been done. And this particular tiger today, that they had a hospital, wild nature hospital there, the doctors visited there, and they already posted the video today. So that was the uh, nation news, when this tiger, poorly wounded, came to people, and he stopped. He wasn't able to hunt anymore, so he came to people and he started hunting the village dogs and killing them and eating. So he was malnourished, and people from the Russian SPCA version and wild nature agency, they came, they captured that tiger, and they just decided to take a look, examine him, and found out that he is in critical condition. He is very sick. He had broken paws, because apparently what doctor from the Wild Nature Hospital, Sergei Olegovich, was telling today in their videos that of course it happened here in the Russian forest, and the tiger house they have now. Okay, so this is the 7,000 kilometers from here to here, so it's about 30. It's about 4,000 miles. Let's say 4,000, more than 4,000 miles. 4,700. Let's say in miles. J for you. So the tiger was caught here, and then it was transported all the way to St. Petersburg, where the tiger house is. Again, there was lots of negotiation with the federal agencies to make it all legal, transportation legal, and all the permits and everything, and it took some time. So finally the tiger arrived 2 days ago to St. Petersburg, and they had the examination, and so that what the doctor was saying, that apparently he there was special trap set up for him, and he got into that trap with his front paws and front legs, and when the poachers came to get him out of that trap, he was wildly defending himself, so he damaged himself, and then they decided to shoot him, to kill him. But when they uh, aimed at him, they missed his heart, and they got into his bone over here, and they crushed the bone, but that saved his life. And he got so violent and so fierce that he broke free and escaped. And yes, he was badly wounded. But as Sasha said, that he already talked to Yana and Dima, and he said that this tiger, he has such will to live that most likely he will survive. Though it wouldn't be possible to restore his paws, he probably will never be able to walk normally. But they're cautiously optimistic about the outcome of this animal. But this is a real wild animal, and that's why the tiger house built special type of enclosure for him. They have like walls more enforced, and so we'll see how the things will go. And you all are welcome to go to the tiger house. They have their own YouTube channel, and if you have any questions, I will be able to translate something if you if you will want to know something more about that. They have their own translator there, Xenia Tar. She explains things what's going on during the streams when Yana and Dima they have their streams. So that was the story from the Tiger House. Let's see what the chat has here for us. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not saying okay. I think the anniversary. Yeah. So tough love is good for language instruction. We said the same thing in my Chinese courses. when instructors stop showing the pronunciation of characters with the Latin letters, but it trains absolutely yes. When you go tough, it's literally we are helping you with crutches. We are giving you crutches, like instead of making you walk straight on your 2 feet, we are just supporting you with all these bad things, and that's about the language. And I see that Linda and Jay, they're talking about those series that were Canadians and the Soviets. They played that series, and the Miracle on Ice, the Montreal Games. Lake Placid, I believe that was the Olympic Games. Yes, that's very interesting game. But they also had that the series where the Soviet team flew to Canada. They also played. That was very interesting um, tournament as well. Yes, that's a lot of things to remember, and I'm glad that you remember that, and I'm glad that you're watching. And that is going to bring me to the question that I printed out, because you guys asked me lots and lots of questions, and I intend to answer those questions. And we already been here for 33 minutes, and that's good. And I have 16 people watching. That's wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Loving having you every single moment. Uh, Jay saying, yeah, 1989 Olympics. I don't remember the year when it was the Miracle on Ice. I believe it was earlier than that, than 1989. Um, it was Lake Placid, and then yeah, the Soviet team was. They played in Buffalo, maybe, yes, maybe, and yeah, December Jam. Yes, Gail. That's the story about the tiger is so sad. And when I was listening today, normally I prefer not to know such horrible details. I know that it's an ostrich policy when I'm trying to hide my head in the sand and not to and pretend that everything is good. But it breaks my heart to to know those sad stories and those sad details. And again, coming back to the topic from our previous stream, there is only one profession in the world that I wouldn't attempt to be veterinarian, because even to do good for the animal, I cannot harm them. I cannot prick their skin. I cannot do injection. I just can't do anything, because they don't understand. They look at you with their eyes and they say, what's going on? What are you doing to me? No, there is no way. I just imagine that this tiger is going to wake up, and then those people, if you watch the video when they were unloading him, using the crane and everything, he was violent. He was like, "What are you doing to me? I'm in the cage. What are you doing to me?" And it's so horrible. Let's go to your questions, and some of them may take some time, so we will be here for a little while longer. And Janie asked me a question. I'd like to ask how you learned English, if you were taught it in grade school, and how difficult or easy was it to learn. And again, I've been trying to learn Russian, and the alphabet is a beach. So anyway, yes, we start when I was little. Okay, so I was growing up in the 70s. I went to the school in 1972, and I was 7 years old. So now you can figure out how old I am. So and uh, and we started our foreign language, English. It was in the fifth grade when you were 11, and I just fell in love with the language. It was English, and we have a teacher that I still remember to this day. And when she was telling all the stories about the queen and everything, and I was like, oh, have you seen a queen? I said, no, I haven't, but and then we were learning lots and lots of things about Great Britain and the United States. And I remember when one of the projects at school, I was drawing the eagle of the United States and this so insignia, and really, and I was talking about the United States. And then in the 80s, uh, no, it was 1976, I believe. There was the joint space project Soyuz Apollo, where the Russians, the Soviet, and the American astronauts and cosmonauts met up there on orbit. And that was also a big deal. And we said that. I mean, we were very proud, and we all wanted to speak English, and it was very fascinating. And however, it was school level, and you could read, you could write. The emphasis in the Russian classical education, the emphasis was with the reading and writing and heavy grammar. And you could write perfect language, but speaking, the most difficult skill out of all, because you have to coordinate everything, and especially not to be afraid to speak. And speaking was the toughest part to come for the any person who was classically taught in the Soviet Union, because you were taught that you cannot make an error. If you're making an error, then oh gosh, everyone's going to think that you're stupid, that you cannot speak, that you just whatever, illiterate, and better not even attempt if you are making errors. And I've learned that now differently. And when I'm teaching my students now, I'm saying, don't be afraid, don't wait until you know everything perfect. Jump into speaking, start talking. Language is the communicative device, and it's not a rocket science. Sure, granted, sometimes you have to be precise when you're learning grammar and you have the basics and you're building a foundation of the house. But when you are starting communicating, and when it's not essential, no one cares where you're going to confuse tenses, as long as you being understood by the party who you're communicating with, then start talking, and then you will be corrected in the course of speaking, and the native speaker is going to be even happy because they're going to help you. And that's why don't be afraid to start speaking. If you're learning a language, don't be afraid to start speaking. But that's not all. So in high school I was learning English, and then it was the time to go to the university, and I went to the university right away. And it happened to be the University of the Foreign Languages. So language became my profession because I fell in love with the languages. I always was inclined to creative writing. I wanted to write, when I really wanted to become a writer. First, when I read a first chapter of Leo Tolstoy's The War and Peace. The first chapter of that book is written in French, because the novelty of the beginning of the 19th century in Russia, they spoke French. Very few of them spoke Russian, but the society preferred to speak French. So the first chapter of The War and Peace, if you open the book in English translated, I believe it's also some of the editions they are translated into English, but if you open a good edition, there will be in French, and then the footnote is in English translation, and then the translator would explain to you that back then in Russia the novelty spoke French, and that's why that was written in French. And when I read it, and I said, you know what? I want to be like him. I want to be able to write chapters and chapters in my books in different languages. And so many years later, I can do it. I can do it in Spanish and English, use Latin phrases and stuff like that. So I guess mission accomplished. And yes, that's very, very good. But also, what I want to say, Jenny, that I don't know if it would be any different for me if it's not for the languages being my profession. Like, for example, if I were to study an engineering or become a mathematician, and if the language would be just the side product of my studies, I don't know. But now, since it's a major study, and when we were at the university, language was like all day long, weekend and everything, and when you do it it's that seriously for 5 years and you get your master's, and my thesis was about false cognates or false friends of the interpreter, and you do comparative linguistics, you have comparative grammar, you have everything, you go to the history of languages. It's fascinating, and you want to learn more and more. And right now I have a student in my class who is very curious about to learn about Russian prefixes and how they might be correlated to the English phrases, phrasal verbs. And that is something that is new to me too, and I'm going to look at that, and I'm really kind of excited about this new um, linguistic facet that I can look at the languages from a different side, different angle. So that's one question. Do I have what do we have here in the chat? Gina, hello. Gina Curcio, hello. The Lillian and Don Pepas, hello, hello. Um, Linda is saying they wanted to get 2 male cheetahs for Gerda. Yes, that's true. Sasha, at some point before the whole thing started 2 years ago, he had this idea to purchase 2 male cheetahs and maybe to breed cheetah and to contribute into the preservation, the cheetah preservation program, because Sasha is very concerned that cheetahs are almost extinct in wild nature, and that the only way where cheetahs are, they are in the either in the farms where they've been bred and then sold to the zoos around the world, or they just, well, they're so unlucky. That's how they just, they were not very successful at breeding in wild, and then hunting also, and they were not so smart in keeping their prey because they wasted so much energy to kill the prey, then they had no way of saving that prey to eat and preserve their strength. So who could have thought such a predator, but they couldn't survive. They were not well equipped to survive in our evolving world where human is expanding its territory more and more. I didn't have English pen pal when I was a kid. However, I had a Russian pen pal from Czech Republic, and she was writing to me letters in Czech, and I was writing her in Russian, and we were understanding each other. That was very, very interesting. And I had pictures of her, photos of her, and it was really. And then I also had pen pal from Bulgaria, and they wanted to learn Russian, and when I was at the university, when I went to the university, my first language, so university gave you 2 languages, and you get masters in both languages. So my first language became Spanish, and we were doing everything with that. So all the variations of Spanish, all the 18 countries, whatever, however they speak different Spanish, Castilian Spanish versus South American Spanish, and the influence of Portuguese into Spanish. I mean, all type of things, and Spanish literature, of course, old literature, English literature, all that other stuff. And so then I had some people, I wrote letters to Argentina, so I had Argentinian pen pals. I still remember them very, very fondly. We had very interesting conversations in our letters. Next question. HS asking me a question. When did you move to America and what was it like for you? Do you have nostalgia for the Soviet days? I've heard Sasha reminisce about his youth in the USSR and find it fascinating. And yes, every time when I do translations of Sasha's stream, Sasha is younger than I am. He's about 10 plus years younger. But he still remembers lots of the Soviet Union, and he caught the times when he was there was draft for male population, and I mean the conscription. He went to the army and he served 2 years in the army. He has all those all that experience, and yes, fondly remembers of the Soviet times, and I fondly remember about those times. And do I have nostalgia? Of course, like we all do about our youth and everything. Remember that movie Clint Eastwood did, the Gran Torino, where he was like, "I loved my America back then. Step off my lawn." And so I'm sure that lots and lots of Americans also kind of miss those times, and I miss it even more because that country no longer exists, and I cannot go even back to the places where my parents are buried. And that's something to think about. And yes, I did love my childhood. I do believe I lived in great country, and I had beautiful family, very loving parents, very nice classmates, and my classmates from the university. I still maintain my relationships, my friendships with those people. And as Sasha was saying, that we spend lots and lots of time outdoors. Like here in the United States, also remember the kids could go to school without even school buses walking, and no one was concerned about it. And Sasha was saying that no one was concerned about safety of the apartment buildings. You lock the door, then you put the key under the carpet, the entry rug, and sometimes you write even a note, "Mom, Dad, the key is under the rug. I am somewhere play. I went out with my friends." And you during summertime when you had summer vacation, all 3 months, because and all you did, you get up early in the morning, you go and run and play with your friends, and then by dusk um, you home, and then all moms are opening their windows at night and in the apartment block, and they started calling names like, "Sasha, go home, it's time to have dinner and go to bed." And people, the kids just saying, "Mom, please, please, 10 more minutes," whatever. That was really kind of nice times, really nice times. But I know every generation is saying, "Oh, in our times everything was better." The kids, the modern kids, they cannot even relate to the things that you and I can share together in this country or in my country that no longer exists, because kids now, they're digital generation. They're totally different. They're different people, different species, as I say, because well, we can get a kind of understanding of what they're going through, but in order to understand what we had back then, we need to tell them and explain a lot what was going on back then. And it's like, um the where did I see lately that this country was developed by the television, because the family in the evening, you're sitting down in front of the TV set. They have TV trays, had all the dinners in front of the TV, or sometimes I don't know, because we grew up in different circumstances, and our generation of kids, they are different. They won't even know what we are talking about sometimes, and that's why it takes us, we are kind of connecting them, this new generation, new people, with the past, but we don't want to hold them to the past because they need to go to the future. And let's hope that, well, not let's hope. We know that the next generation is going to be better than us. Um, I have another question from Sherry, and she says, "Would love to hear about your outdoor free time activities. What you do? Do you enjoy the seashore, going to restaurants, museums, hobbies, gardening?" And yeah, in English and Russian, how to say gardening. Um, Garden is sad. It's very short word. It's three letters. S-A-D. Sad. Sad. Садоводство. Gardening. I see. I live in Central California. The climate here is amazing, and I live 15-minute drive from the shore. And I love my Pacific Ocean. And the notion that I can get to the ocean anytime I want, that keeps me in this place, because I love running barefoot on the beach. That's my favorite exercise all year around. And I need to see the ocean pretty much every day. And I work in such an installation that we are on top of the mountain, and there is such a beautiful view out of our classrooms, and it's very beautiful. And you always, it's a beautiful place. It's expensive place, but it's a beautiful place. It's beautiful for a reason. And yes, I love to go to the restaurants with my friends. It's really very nice. It's very touristy place, and that's why you need to figure out when it's better to go to a restaurant. Museums, yeah, kind of. Monterey doesn't have that many museums. Salinas, actually, however, we do have Steinbeck's house, and that's the very famous writer, and I love Steinbeck's prose absolutely. And they have Steinbeck's house, and I do have on my other channel a visit to that house, and it's a kind of a museum tour. And they do have impersonators over there, and I have an interview with John's mother. She was talking about him. And we also have the museum dedicated to Salvador Dali, because Dali apparently lived here in 1930s in Monterey. And yes, we do have museum dedicated to him, and we have modern art museums here and in Santa Cruz. But for the higher society life, you need to go to San Francisco and San Jose, which are actually not very far. And hobby. What's my hobby? I love to run barefoot on the beach. I love riding my bicycle. I love my cat. I love playing piano. I love writing. And I have 3 YouTube channels. And what else? And I have another question. And Linda wrote this, asked me this one. Do you knit or crochet? I do both. I knit better than crochet, and though I haven't done it in a while, but it's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn it, you know how to do that. And I love knitting, and it's wonderful. I love it. And what are some traditional games children play? And that made me think. And that made me think because we played anything. Well, first of all, of course, hide and seek. Children everywhere in the world, they play that. Then some other variation of hide and seek. But what I find fascinating, there is a very famous Russian game, and it's called Lapta, 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 and it looks a little bit like baseball. The rules a little bit different, and the bat is not round but flat. But also you have a ball, you have a guy who is a pitcher, and you hit the ball, and the objective is to so you have 2 teams, and you don't have the special field. You have just one line over here, and your team is over here, and you have the line at the end of the field, and the other team is behind that line. And during the hit, while the ball is in the air, you have to make sure that you run. So you hit the ball and then you run. And if the ball is caught, then they're going to hit you with the ball, and if they get you, then you're out of the game. And we played that game over and over and over again. I love playing it. That's the game lapta. And also kids, we were running all day long, and no such a thing as obesity or whatever. And then Pepas is drinking water. He said, "Mom, you're talking too much." So yes, lots and lots of wonderful games. And like here again, biking, doing all this crazy stuff, and go to the lakes, go to the rivers, and hiking. Lots and lots of wonderful things. We all were young, we were all kids, and we loved growing up. And that was a wonderful, wonderful time. Don't take me wrong, I love my life now too. It's comfortable, it's nice, but I understand that now I have fewer years left than I've lived before. And that thought kind of makes you think. Yeah, makes you think, I'm not going there. Because if you stay positive, maybe you're going to live longer. Okay, I see people already leaving, and yes, it's about time because I've been out 19 people watching us. That's amazing. If you have any questions about Messi's stream, now will be a good time to ask that question before I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Gentle reminder to that's yes, Kelly's, and that's how I grew up. We walked everywhere as kids without worry. I know that's the world is crazy now. I don't know what's going on. Yes, and Gerda's story is so soothing. I agree. And Linda is saying my father would use his Latin and Spanish knowledge to interpret Portuguese when necessary at his work. That's so interesting. When I was in Portuguese, so we were driving from France to Spain. No, so we were flying from France to Portuguese, and in France I was so tired because no one understood me, and I was thinking, okay, I can read French, so I probably can get by, but no, that was the wrong expectations. But when we get to Portugal, I was like, I can speak Spanish, they can understand me, and I understand them, and there was no problem communicating there whatsoever. And um what else do we have? Before the TV, the family sat around radio in the evening. Yes, that's true. And also we were talking recently with someone in Russia. They had such a rubric on radio, the radio theater, and the famous actors, they were reading Russian novels or doing some shows, spectacles on the radio. It means that you could sit down and listen to those novels being read, or theater performance being performed on the radio. And right now on YouTube, you can find some of that. It's like golden foundation of the Soviet radio and TV, and you can find those movies and radio gems that are available till now. It's so nice. It's getting darker and darker over here, and it's probably dark where you are because it's 4 o'clock here, 7 where Jay is, and December Gem, and people are saying goodbye. And that was such a wonderful and interesting stream to me, at least. I think that I don't know whether I talked too much, maybe I just told you too many things that you didn't ask me to. But anyway, I really appreciate everyone who asked questions. I'm looking forward to get other questions from you, and I will be telling you answering those questions. So we will do again our map something. If you can ask me, if you want to ask me something about map, geography, whatever, I will be more than happy to tell you the stories. And I think that this format is going to work for now. Other than I would sit down and record the video. But you see, Jay, for you, I'm talking to you now. So if you ask more questions like that, we will end up learning about me growing up in the Soviet Union, and I won't need to put a video, special separate video for all of you. So I do thank you all for being here with us. Don Pepas is over here. Look at this. Papusa, he found a sunny spot. I told you that Don Pepas following sun all day long. Now he found the sunny spot. Papusicka. And thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon. And I will see you next Sunday. Thank you.